Hey there, my little fellers. I am back with another tier list. I decided to do my favorite of the Soulsborne series, Bloodborne. Now, I'd say Bloodborne is probably the best. You can argue either Elden Ring or Dark Souls 3, because I think Bloodborne, again, performance is garbage. I don't think anyone's gonna disagree on that. And I'd say the bosses, half are good, half are kind of just, not the greatest. But this did just come from Dark Souls 2, right after it. So, yeah. Also, if you're asking why I'm playing Tale of a Cruel World, it, because the Bloodborne, ambience, regular, Hunter's Dream, and, the main theme, I don't know, just didn't do it for me at the time being. I do think Bloodborne has, the second best soundtrack in the series. I'd say the first being Dark Souls 3, but whatever. Whatever, we're gonna get into the list. Cleric Beast. I think for a first boss, it is technically optional, but most people are gonna fight it first, and people who did fight it aren't really gonna fight it later. I do think it's really easy. For a person that never played Soulsborne, it's probably going to be very difficult. But there are ways to cheese it, but it's not super obvious. The theme is good, the design is good. I don't think you get any drops from it. I don't know though, but usually after that, that's when the doll will let you say, hey, you can level up, my boy, But, it's a B, mid to low B. So that doesn't really teach you the ropes exactly of how to play Bloodborne 100%, but it's not a bad boss. And the arena's a little scrunky, a little thin, kind of like Margit, but yeah, more Margit, kind of. Father Gascoigne, Father Guacamole, my man. The lore is interesting. I like him. I love that he talks in the middle of the fight. I don't think any fight talks in the middle. Before him. His phase transition's cool. I like the music box thing. I like his little correlation with the mother and the daughter that you see earlier. It's really cool. The cutscene is okay. Bass all over the shop. My man, my Irish man. It is a fun boss. I did beat him first try, but he was fun, and he does actually teach you the ropes of the game. The arena's good. While yes, the graves are a little annoying, it can help you and just yeah, it's a great boss. Put it 8 tier. Wait a second, guys. Sorry. Okay. Bloodstarved Feast. I think the arena's cool. Fuck. I think the arena's cool. I think the build up, to the arena's cool, I guess. The difficulty is, it's pretty hard for a person, again, who hasn't played it and doesn't know the cheese. The cheese makes it probably the easiest fight in the game, even more than Witch of Hemwick, if you know what you're doing. It looks cool. Kinda don't like it that you refight it. There's always one boss in the Souls games where you have to refight it. But that's pretty good. Put it around. I'm gonna put it above Cleric Beast because it actually has a challenge when you don't do it. Sure, people can say bullshit challenge, but I think it's more interesting than the Cleric Beast. Vicar Amelia. I think the cutscene's pretty cool. I like it that she turns into a beast, not in your right before your eyes, but a shadow of it. It gives you kind of an idea. Her design's pretty cool. The theme's the exact same thing as the Cleric Beast, but I guess she has some connection, to Lawrence. The arena's cool. She's not that difficult. But I'm not. It doesn't matter. Hold a minute. One more time. Aight. Back to normal stuff. The Witches of Hemwick. Now, the Witches of Hemwick arena, it's too big for what it is. The guys that get summoned don't do anything. They have too much of a big health bar. It's boring. It's bad. The theme is meh. I guess you get cool stuff after it, but it's who cares? It's bad. It's not a good boss. It's not even pinwheel, like, it's funny, and it's, like, cool design and all that. It's just, like, no. Shadows of Yharnam. I think it's not technically a bad triple fight, it's just not that fun of one. The arena's okay. It's effective. I just find their second phases super annoying. I wish they kept the same phase for each of them. And I guess the last one, staying alive, like, if you kill the first two, then doesn't matter, like, what health they are. Like, they sprout those, like, the snakes, and then the snakes, like, get some... But those things are, like, random, and it seems random, at least. But I just... They're weird. No, C tier. I don't like him that much. Also, their run back sucks, and the force fucking sucks. Ram the Vacuous Spider. I think this guy is overrated. Or her. I think it's a her, but doesn't matter. The design is cool. The arena is one of my favorites in the series. The theme isn't bad. The cutscene right after is great. I like it that it's like kind of a cut in the middle, because this is like around mid game. And difficulty, like, people say it's bullshit, and it's not that bullshit. It's just like, I think it's overhated. Right there. I think it's above Bloodstarved Beast. I think there's like enough stuff, like, just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's objectively bad. And yes, technically I don't like it. I find it meh as an actual fight, but you know, I don't hate it. Martyr Logarius. I love the arena. The arena maybe is not the greatest, but it's not a bad arena. I think the balancing is great. It's not like too hard, that's infuriating. Well, maybe one part can be infuriating, and that's the run back. I think that's like the only real con, is I think the run back's one of, if not the worst in the game. But his balancing's great, the parrying, like, you can parry him, that's great. Just, it's fast paced, it's really fun. The cutscene right before it is really cool and intimidating. Not like dreadful or fearful, just like intimidating. Just, I like him more than Gascoigne. I like him more than the Gascoigne, and I'm not gonna change my mind on that. Okay. Dark Beast Parl. I love his design. I think it's probably my favorite in the game. I like it more than like Ludwig and Murgo. I like it more. That's my hot take. Moon Presence is pretty cool looking, and Gehrman I think is my favorite looking hunter. But like out of all of them, I think he's my favorite design in the game, if not the series. Next to like Malekith and Midir, maybe. That. And if we're counting Night Guys, I guess Artorias. Whatever. His design is amazing. His theme is unique. Not great, but it's unique. His attacks, like, he's fast, but he's, like, not unfair fast. People are like, you're gonna be battling the camera. I'm like, shut your goddamn mouth. That's not... it's not really that bad. It's fast-paced, but it's not, like, deteriorating as people make it sound. The arena's okay. The lore is non-existent, actually, but I think it's less bullcrap than the Bloodstarved Beast. I put it right here. There's gotta be a lot of people in B. There's a lot of just mid-bosses. The One Reborn. I like its design. The cutscene's pretty cool. It's disgusting. But, I guess being able to progress is cool. Yeah, it's just a Tower Knight, just a worse Tower Knight. But it has unique stuff, like with the unique attacks and new design. That's about it. The arena's okay, too. But it's big, it's a thing. Oh, and its run back is my least favorite. I actually didn't have to run back with Logarius that much, because I usually just one-try him. Even in my first playthrough, I just one-shot. I would destroy him. But a lot of these bosses I actually, like, kind of just try, like, do it first try. Like, Father Gascoigne, I do it. Bloodstarved Beast. Dark Beast Parl, I did not, because I kind of did him, like, way early on. Cleric Beast, I one-shot. Shadows of Yharnam, I did not. And Vicar Amelia I did not, but it took me, like, what, the second or third try to beat her? Whatever. This guy is just not that good. There's very few pros, quite a bit of cons. One, it's not that original. The attacks have really weird and almost unfair tells, basically unfair tells. Way too much damage, even for Bloodborne. Yeah. Just way to get. Okay. Celestial Emissaries. They look funny. I think it's a joke boss. The arena's pretty, I guess, maybe a little bit. I like it more than Witch of Hemwick because I guess it's not as boring and easy. Because, like, these guys can still do a decent amount of damage. Quote-unquote indecent. It's not even, like, good. Maybe good for other Souls games, but, like, in Bloodborne, it's nothing. Abritas. Its design, it's really cool. It's kind of disgusting, but also kind of, like, beautiful in a weird way. Its arena's really cool, and the attacks are pretty cool. I think it's really hard. It's really hard. I think it's one of, if not the hardest base game boss for me. It was the hardest base game boss for me. If it wasn't for this, well, I'll tell you what my hardest base game boss was before her. Maybe it's between her and the other guy. I don't remember. I do remember, but I'm not gonna say it. But Abritas, I think the difficulty, like, you're gonna be sticking to her ass the whole time. It's not really a very spectacle fight, mainly because you're not gonna be. It's like Fire Giant almost, like where you're just looking at her ass. And it's like, if you're not, she's just obliterating you with kind of annoying attacks with a dash and just a headbutt. And that stupid, I forgot its name, but it's like where she like fires down bolts. Or like, not lightning bolts, but like lasers. Those are really annoying attacks, and just like, lore-wise she's amazing, arena-wise she's amazing, theme she's pretty good, and design she's awesome. I don't remember exactly what you get from her when you beat her, but, and the run back is a little tedious, mainly because it's an elevator. Whatever. It's not that bad of a run back, but just, like, a little annoying, mainly because she's one of the harder bosses in the game. So, yeah. Amygdala. This is the boss that I had trouble with. This is the one. That probably caused me the most deaths. I didn't know I could, like, fight him after Rom. Or could I? I don't know. I never did. But he does a humongous amount of damage. His design is cool, and his entrance is hella cool. The arena's cool. And the spectacle of the fight is pretty cool. Other than that, the fight is so shit. It's going right here. This is a bad garbage boss, and it's a trap to lock onto his head. And you're just like, oh, they just don't lock on. Like, who tells you have to lock on? The people who fucking, like, allow you to lock onto it. Would it make people confused? Yeah, maybe. But hitting its legs does no damage, so you have to either hit its hands or its head. And it's just really annoying. It's not really fun. I know there's, like, cheese ways, and I know it can be really, really, really easy. But just, I don't have the patience for that. Mikolash. Fun character, fun cutscene. That's it. Everything else about the fight sucks. The run back sucks. The run of the fight sucks, because you gotta be running the whole time. The fight is literally just an NPC that has 2 attacks and, like, some mobs every now and then, some skeletons. Who cares? Who cares? This is a bad fight. Garbage. No, literally just the character, like the lore, and the cutscene before it. That is it. Murgo's Wet Nurse. Its design is one of my favorites in the game, and one of my favorites in the series. The arena's pretty cool. I like the theme is so unique. I love the theme. The lore, not sure about the Wet Nurse itself, but I know Murgo. I don't remember 100%, but it's like, let's say it's better than Rom, because I think it has, like, maybe not as good as an arena, but the cutscene's pretty cool, the aesthetic of the fight's pretty cool, the theme's good, amazing, the arena's good, and I like the little, like, it's the first, usually it's probably going to be the first, like, nightmare slaying that you're going to see, like, when you kill it. And I do love, like, this weird thing where just, like, when you kill it, it takes, like, 70 hours for it actually to say Nightmare Slain, and then the lamp, and then the baby to stop fucking crying. But I don't know, something about that just leaves a little more ominous, just like to, like ambience, just like to sit in. Little waste of time, but it's like cool as hell. Gehrman. He fucking joins the hunt. One of, if not the best lore in the game. I think it's on par with another boss I'm gonna go over. But I love his design. His design is my favorite hunter design. I like him more than Maria. I think his lore is better than Maria. I think his theme is better than the Maria. I think his arena is better than Maria. If you can't tell, I think the fight's better than Maria. I think it's around as difficult as Maria, because you can kind of exploit them about the same way, but I think Gehrman has just a little more unique attacks, mainly because I played Dark Souls 3 first, and she was just way too similar to for Sister Fried. I beat her in like... Okay, maybe I found her a little harder than Gehrman. I'm gonna stop the bullcrap. I found her harder than Gehrman, but I think... I don't know, man. I don't know. S tier. There's literally nothing wrong with this fight. If it's like one that people say it's one of the hardest bosses in the base game, I'm okay with that. I beat him first try, but like fucking hell, man. I beat her in like this person in like 3 tries, so who cares? Like the cutscene is better than Maria's. I'm just gonna compare her to Maria. But I think there's again no con. It's amazing in almost all categories. You could say he should be a little more difficult for the quote-unquote final fight if it wasn't for this piece of garbage. The Moon Presence, one of, if not the one of the coolest cutscenes in the game. I think there are better ones, but the lore is questionable. People compare it to the Elden Beast. People compare the Elden Beast to the Moon Presence mainly because it just like appears out of nowhere and then you learn about it later. But there's more lore with Moon Presence, and technically it does have more of like an appearance than Elden Beast beforehand. But other than that, like again, the arena is the exact same as Gehrman's, so I guess that's a plus. The theme is different. It's not bad. It's a pretty good theme. Its design is one of the best in the game, and the cutscene's pretty cool. The lore is weird. It's good, but it's just not the same. Then the fight is kind of disgraceful. It's not a hard fight. Let's see. For the secret final boss, I don't know how they keep fucking that up. Like, there's true King Allant, with fucking whatever that fucking blob is. Then there's Dark Souls 1 with Gwyn. Gwyn was a good fight. I guess it wasn't that good of a fight in the actual game, but it actually had more of a reason why he was so goddamn pathetic, which is why people like consider him an amazing fight, including me. I think it's a good fight, mainly for all the lore implications and the theme, and we'll go over that. I'll go over that during the Dark Souls 1 boss tier list. Dark Souls 2, we got Nashandra and... what's that other guy's name? The Blob and the Scholar of the First Sin. Wait, how long have we been? 19 minutes. Okay. But, like, those guys were pathetic. No reason to be as weak as they were. Bloodborne, same thing. Dark Souls 3, no issues with the final boss. The final boss was goddamn amazing. Sekiro, no issues with that. Okay, and Elden Ring, well, I already put my thoughts into... Ugh. Didn't I put it in A tier? I think the spectacle and lore of Radagon and Marika and all that leading up to it was just really pushed it up, that the Elden Beast couldn't tarnish it too much. Get it? Whatever. Moon Presence is right here. Not that good. Ludwig. I like this. I love this fight. It's like my 6th favorite in the series, in the Soulsborne series. I think. Okay, so let me point out what I think is good. 1, I think his design is one of the best in the game too. It's a really cool, scary design. I do love it. I do think he kind of looks a little goofy, like a goofy goober when he fucking holds the sword. He obviously doesn't look natural. He does, he's I know it's supposed to make him seem more human, like transcending back to like his humanity. I guess not transcending, but whatever. His design's cool. The arena is, I guess, cool looking. It's a little too much of a shade for it to really pop out much, especially in the second phase. And I guess it was still very big, but I don't know. I always felt too small, especially for the boss that we were fighting. His difficulty was good. It was a good balance, but the thing is, the second phase was actually easier than the first. And, wow. Huh. But, I love the cutscenes. I actually prefer the first one over the second one. There's that hot take. I like the first one more than the second one for the simple reason that the second cutscene is a fucking, like, when he holds the sword in front of him, he goes, like a fucking horse, like, neigh. What the fuck? What the fuck? Why? Why the fuck? Like, yes, he's supposed to kind of resemble a horse. I get it. It makes sense. It immerses. It takes so much immersion. It just makes it not as badass. But the theme is one of the best in the series, if not the best. I'd say the only ones that are better is Gwyn and Solar Cinder. Gwyn because of the lore implication. Solar Cinder because it actually sounds good and it has a better like version of Gwyn's theme. But it like technically doesn't have Gwyn's like thing to like help it out like his lore. But the thing is that is the final boss, and the final thing you hear in the Dark Souls series is the Plin plot. It's like, I love it. Still beautiful. Soul Cinder's a beautiful fight. Great. I think those two themes are the only ones that are better than Ludwig, mainly for those reasons. Maybe not to, like, when it comes to just purely listening and, like, to love enjoying it, Ludwig's theme is the best. I'm gonna put him above Gehrman because he's better, like, he's more difficult, but he's also fair, but he's much easier in the second phase. But he looks cool, it's badass, the theme really carries a lot of it, the arena's okay. His lore is actually pretty good. I don't think it's the best. I think it's really overrated. I think Gehrman, and some other, I'm not gonna mention them, but some are better in this game. These three. Okay. Living Failures. It's worse than Celestial Emissaries. Like, their lore is pretty decent. The theme is actually really underrated. I think it's a really good theme. And the arena's kind of like, it's nice and bright, unlike a lot of the game. When it comes to, like, boss fights, because you don't really, like, fight that many bosses in daylight. If at all. You don't. Not in broad daylight. So this one's, like, a little nice change. But it's way too easy. It's super boring. I guess I'll put him above here. I guess I'll put him above this list of emissaries because of the theme. And the arena's not bad. That's about it. Maria. Lady Maria. I think... Wait, let me just check how long... Oh, we have time. It's an hour. Fuck. But, Maria. Pros. I think her design's pretty good. Oh yeah, you know what? I haven't mentioned a lot of Gehrman, the Burial Blade. This is an okay actual weapon, but it looks really cool. I like it more than Rikuyo. Mainly because the Rikuyo, it is a better weapon technically, in a technical sense, but I don't like the design as much, and it's a pain in the ass to get. So, whatever. The theme is one of the best themes in the game. I do think Gehrman is better, but it's really nice. The arena, it could look better spectacally, but it's technically a very effective arena. But you're always on the sides of the arena. I don't know why. Her attacks are really good. They're well timed. I don't think they're kind of Elden Ring-ish in a way, with very delayed attacks. But I think she's well when it comes to staggering, rallying, parrying. All that. She's difficult if you don't know how to do that stuff, but how the fuck don't you know how to do that stuff if you're that far in goddamn Bloodborne? Maybe if you're doing purely just a strength build, but you might as well be a masochist. Or you just came out of Dark Souls 1. Or some other Dark Souls game. But, whatever. I think she's an S tier. I think her lore is really good in her correlation to the doll. Her cutscene's okay. What she's blocking off to the next area with the living failure, not the living failures, to the fishing hamlet. Like, you know, I like to interpret that, like, a corpse should be well left alone. I don't think it was talking about her. I think it was talking about Haas, and I'm like, that ups the cutscene a lot. Hold on a second, I'm gonna pause it one more time. Never mind. But, I think her fight's really well balanced. I think her theme's really good. I don't really see a con. I just think she's one of the most overrated bosses of all time. I seen a person do a tier list where he put her above, like, Slave Knight Gale. Like, the best boss in the entire series. I can't see it in the slightest. I think lore-wise, she's just... I think it's just not as good as Gehrman in almost every single way. I can't. Lawrence. The first vicar, I mean. Okay. I think his theme... I love his theme. His theme is one of the more unique themes, and I like it more than Maria's. And I like it more than Gehrman's, but I'm not going to say it's better than Gehrman's because of, again, the sorrowness for Gehrman's. The arena, like, it worked for Vicar Amelia, but, like, for Lawrence, he's just a little too big. It feels like he's too big for the arena. Maybe he isn't, but just, like, yeah, wow. It feels weird. And it's not much spectacle. He's just a flaming version of the Cleric Beast, but he at least has a different phase and seemingly different attacks. You could say the AoE is bullcrap and he does way too much damage and he's way too hard and he's super unfair and I fucking hate this boss. This is F tier. Just because you found it hard and you didn't enjoy the fight doesn't mean it wasn't actually good. This is a great fight and is very well when it comes to the balancing. I love this fight. It's a really good fight. Well, it's like a love-hate, but I like this more. I don't like him more than Martel Logarius, but I'm gonna say it's better than Martel Logarius because I think his lore is also one of the best in the series, in the game and in the series. I think it's better than Lady Maria, but I don't think the fight is as good. I don't think the arena is as good, and I don't think his design is technically as good because it again is just a flaming version of the Cleric Beast, which is the boss you already fought. But the reason why he looks like a Cleric Beast but on fire, it makes sense lore-wise. So it's fine, because he is the first vicar, so, you know, these guys were more inspired by this instead of the other way around. And we got to the Orphan of Kos. This is an S tier. This is, to me, the best boss in Bloodborne. Now, I'm gonna say why. Wait. Okay, but, I think I'm going to compare him to Ludwig. I think Orphan of Kos is better balance-wise. Because I think, well, he's one of, if not the hardest boss in Soulsborne. He's one of. I think his design isn't as good as Ludwig's. I like his design. It reminds me just of, like, SCP-096, but with a shrimp. But, design-wise, I think Ludwig takes it. I think theme-wise, Ludwig takes it. But I like Orphan of Kos' theme, not more, but I think it matches Orphan of Kos. I think it fits more with the fight than Ludwig does. Like, yes, Ludwig is very triumphant. Yeah, hero and, like, turning human, yada yada yada. But I think this just matches the, like, monstrosity kind of thing. And, like, adrenaline pumping. Yeah, I like that more. What else? I like the Orphan of Kos' arena a lot more. I think it's a lot better spectacally. Yeah, I think it's my favorite arena in the entire series, next to maybe Slave Knight Gales and Nameless Kings. But his lore I think is better than Ludwig. I think again. So basically, I'm gonna do it. I actually like the cutscenes of Orphan of Kos more than Ludwig's. I like the first, like the beginning cutscene where he kind of like crawls out of his mother and starts weeping. That's like super dreadful. I love that. And the ending cutscene with, like, the fucking... It was kind of, like, similar to whatever that guy says at the beginning of the Fishing Hamlet. It's similar, but it's, like, a lot more calm. Like, because he basically ended the Hunter's Nightmare. But I think the lore of Orphan of Kos, to me, is one of, again, if not the best, and maybe I already said that with Gehrman, but it's one of the best in the entire game, and one of the best in the entire series. Again, I think these three are the best in the entire series when it comes to lore. One of the best. Again, there's other characters with better lore. But I love the lore of Orphan of Kos more than Ludwig. I like the balancing more than Ludwig. I like the arena more than Ludwig. It's just like... And usually balancing and difficulty does... Which is why Maria is so praised, because it's just a fun fight. But it's not... I don't think in other factors it's better than the others. But the thing Orphan of Kos is just like... It's such an actually good fight. And it's completely balanced. It's not like... There is ways to cheese him like almost every other boss. But it's not as easy to do. It's not as easy to do. So, but I think one last thing. I think this is the best boss in the entire series. I think it is perfect. There is not a single flaw you can tell me about this boss. And if you do, you have to tell me, because I can't think of one. With Ludwig, you can say there's balancing issues, because the first phase kind of has like weird almost hitboxes, kind of like weird cameras sometimes, like it's, and also I really don't like the when he jumps up and then down, because it's kind of hard to tell which ones he's gonna do, if he's just gonna jump and then land right on top of you right away, or like do the thing where he crawls. But it's just like it's a little weird with the camera. And the second phase is like just really easy. It's kind of like almost like Malekith-esque, or the second phase of Malekith is 10 times better than the second phase of Ludwig's. I don't know. I think Orphan Akasa is better, and I will stick to that to the end of days. I think it's the best boss in the series, and my favorite boss in Bloodborne. If you guys disagree, that is completely fine. You can tell me why I should fuck myself, and then I don't know, but I don't know. And next is gonna be Dark Souls 1 probably, and after that I'm probably gonna finish my remaster playthrough, like do the rest, and then who knows what I'll do after that. I might do some more Battlesong reviews, but that'd be fun. I'll see you guys next time. See ya.